Howdy, howdy. I just want to share when you're going through, it's what a lot of us would call a transition, like a spiritual transition. Weird things will start happening. I was at work, working in an area I don't work in. So as I'm putting groceries back away, I walk past, I hadn't even touched this area, and this bag of Japanese peanuts comes flying off the shelf. I turn around like, what the hell? Had busted all over the ground, and I was like, well, I guess I can just clean that up real quick. So happened to be a box just peeking out from underneath the shelf, and I was like, perfect. So swept it all up real quick, went about my business. I get home and I'm in my room, and like 10 minutes ago I hear a knock on the door, and it's so forceful that something that was on the door fell off. I go and ask my daughter, what did you need? She said, I've been sitting here. It's like there was a knock on my door. No, it wasn't me. We're the only two people in the house. So, other day I heard something clear as day, turned around and nobody's there. This is to help you understand that we're in a 3D world and there's a 5D world. It's a spiritual world. It's invisible to most of us. As you transition, you will begin to find oddities, things in your life that make you go, huh. I don't know what that was, but it was plain as day. I was sitting on the porch talking to my neighbor earlier, and all of a sudden I was like, I smell Chinese food. She said, only thing I smell is plants. And I was like, I'm smelling Chinese food. And then it was gone just like that. There's things, there's memories, there's breadcrumbs to lead you to thinking of your loved ones that possibly are your guides. There are smells that are memories that will trigger you to think of certain times, places, and things to put puzzle pieces in order. There's a lot of things that happen from the 5D world because they can't come and tap you on the shoulder and be like, hey, let me tell you something. It doesn't work like that. It's more so you're getting knocks on the door and nobody's there, or things are flying off the shelf as you walk by and you're like, oh, that's interesting. The other day it was the lights in the other room that I have, the living room, and they flicker. I can chalk that up to short wiring, but it didn't do that when I first moved in here. It's been almost 4 months of me being here, and this is something new. Those are energetic entities from another area, 5D, trying to get in touch with you, catch your attention, saying, might I tell you something? How shall you take it? I've been having really weird dreams for the last few nights. And a lot of that has to do with me pulling back and going, balance, recenter. Tomorrow I plan on taking a walk in the woods. Tomorrow I plan on getting back in touch with Mother Nature because I've been so busy for, it seems like a lifetime. But we all have things that we have to work through. And we all need to tune in our listening mechanisms to help guide us. This is me sharing with you. There are things that happen and you might be like, don't let it scare you. Because for the most part, if you're on a trajectory that has to do with you bettering your life, you're meeting your light squad. You're meeting your ancestors. You're meeting guardians and angels that are helping to whisk you away. They're trying to help you level up. And the funny thing is, when you get to that point of you're trying to level up, the devil will try to pull you down. The negative energy will try to draw you back. Especially if you're someone who's abundant and you're with, or you've been with people that choose not to be abundant. They want to do things in order to receive something in return. That's a manipulative energy, for one, but that's also somebody that is an opportunist. They want to get something in order to do something. That's not coming from the heart. And that's where we begin to separate ourselves. As we separate ourselves from those lower vibing individuals and we try to go higher, they will try to pull you back down to keep you stuck on their ground. Don't let them do it, because it's as simple as you have to be like, I see the joke behind this, and the joke is me. You want me to stay there for your comfort. I'm not going to be there for your comfort, because I am my success. Right? If you choose you over a lower vibing entity, you're now telling the universe, you see your worth. Very simple. We have to learn to see our own worth before the universe or God or whoever you believe in, Allah, is going to say, my child, you see you for what you are. Here's a reward. You get to continue to move forward. You go up, while the low vibing devils want to pull you down. You'll find that you'll actually be shielded and blocked and protected the more that you give faith in a higher power. It's not always easy, but you have to remember to tell yourself daily, I'm not alone. I am lovable. I am love. I am loved. When you can reiterate these things within yourself, then you can rise above the scum, the swamp. Who wants to be stuck in the muck forever? None of us. If you're used to being low vibing and you look around, the people that you entertain in your world, if they're low vibing, you're going to stay that way. If you're okay going, this is a transitioning time, I'm going to be alone for a minute. A minute in your life could be a year. It's not forever. But if you choose to stay in that same low vibing energy that you're in, nothing's going to change in your forever. And I know it's hard, but this is where you have to go, I deserve better. I'm not accepting less. I love me. I will not forsake me. I see me if no one else can. I will applaud my successes. I will assess my failures. But understand, when you get to that point where you're doing those things, odd things can start happening. Like knocks on your door and nobody's there. Hearing voices and nobody's there. I remember when I was about 7 years old. My mom owned a flower shop and I was in the back doing something. I felt the coldest wind brush behind me. And I turned around, there was nothing there, and I got really freaked out. At this point in my life, I know nothing about nothing other than my parents take care of me, right? And I remember she'd send me to the back room to maybe cut flowers and put them in water or grab something for her. And at that time, it was like, rush, 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 hurry, hurry, hurry. Get away from that, because it was such a feeling of discomfort. Even when I lived in Indiana, my kids were, this was probably about 12 years ago. There was this cellar, and they had built the whole basement into this cellar, right? And there was a certain area where it just felt ice cold. And it was almost like there were entities in that basement. And we were running wiring through that house at the time. There was terracotta piping in this house for the sewage. So everything had to be re-ran. And I was so afraid of that area. That was kind of the beginning of a spiritual awakening for me. The in-between of the 3D and the 5D. and never realizing what was good and what was bad, what was for me to protect me and what was there to harm me. And I remember asking my son, will you go with me? At that time, he's like 4 or 5 years old. I found comfort in another human being down there with me. Maybe it was something for me to protect, or feeling that he had that much power within him that those entities would not encroach upon me. Nothing bad ever happened there other than my ex losing his mind and chasing everybody with an axe and chopping shit up. The Shining is very real. Life happens. But anyways, there's always something around you that is ethereal. There's always something around you if you can learn to tune in and feel it. There is a guidance for you. You just have to tap into that system, that pineal gland, that innate intuition that is there. And I know I have some of the weirdest stories. And my mom told me one day, you should write a book. And I was like, I'm busy living it. One day I'll write a book. I don't know. I have written a book. It's a sci-fi thriller on domestic violence. I've written a healing program. I started writing how to help empaths deal and harness with their own energies. It's just life hits us, right? Next step I have is to work on the products that I want to distribute out into the world, because I have a lot of products that even diabetic people have told me, make that, I can use that. Just, oh my God, I've never heard of anything like that. I would love to try that. So if anybody's feeling like they want to get on a trial basis, pretty soon I'll be coming out with my oils and my spiritual baths. And I want to put my hand into candle making, but at the same time, I have other things that I'm working on. There's still books that need to be written. There's still guidance that I'm obtaining myself, but I'm being guided through that system, that higher power, to say, hey, this is what we're doing next. And I'm just a vessel. I'm just here to share stories and odd situations of knocks on doors and nobody there and peanuts flying off of shelves and experiences. So on that note, wish you well and sending you lots of love, peace, and light.